Okay, that is a little example of Ramblin' on My Mind blues, covered by a variety of artists, originally performed by the great Robert Johnson, and covered by the likes of Eric Clapton, and so forth. Today we're going to be discussing the structure of the song, the breakdown, and for your learning purposes. So, before we get started, what I recommend always is having finger picks with you. I use a thumb pick, and for my index finger I use a plastic finger pick. And these are ideal for playing this kind of music. Also handy is having a slide, preferably a brass slide for a song like this. And it doesn't really matter what kind of guitar you use. You're fine with just about anything to learn this song. Now, first and foremost, before we begin, this is one of Robert Johnson's, probably his easiest songs in his extensive repertoire. And today we're going to be talking about the way Eric Clapton plays it from the 1999 Yokohama sessions. And Clapton's approach is actually more simple than Robert Johnson's. He simplifies the approach to the song, so it's very simplified, and we're going to be talking a little bit about both techniques of what you can implement in your playing. So first and foremost, the tuning that we're going to be in is going to be open D tuning. That's dad-fad tuning, also known as vestipule. So if you have a tuner with you, or if you want to tune up to my guitar, I'm tuned exactly in open D tuning, meaning that my first string is going to be a D, and it's going to sound like this. So tune up with me. This is my top string, it's a D. My second string is going to be an A. My fourth string is going to be a D. My third string is going to be a G. A is going to be an F sharp, I'm sorry. My second string is going to be an A. And my bottom string is going to be a D. So it's D, A, D, F sharp, A, D. Okay, so in the song, Eric Clapton actually plays it 2 keys up. He actually plays it in open E tuning. So if you were to follow along with the YouTube recording from Yokohama, you would have to raise your guitar up 2 steps, meaning that whereas we have a D, would change to an E. So you would take your machine head and tune it up 2 steps. And I don't like playing that high because the strings tend to be so high tension that they'll break. But you can raise your strings like that. You can also, if you want to play along with Eric Clapton, you can take a capo and put it over the 2nd fret and you'll be in tune. But for the purposes of this guitar lesson, we're not going to do that. We're going to just stick to open D tuning, just a clean tuning. So that's what we'll do there. So now that we've got ourselves tuned, and we've got our accessories, finger pick, slide, and the guitar, we're going to go ahead and talk about the breakdown. So before we begin, we want to position our hands to attack the material accordingly. So as you'll notice in most of this Delta blues music, and even if you watch Eric Clapton playing, the right hand is always going to be positioned, your hand like this, swooping like this, you're going to be diagonal. And you're going to be in between the end of the neck to the beginning of the bridge, you're going to be right here. So your hand is going to be tilted like this. Okay? And in doing so, you're going to have your thumb is going to be positioned over either the 6th or the 5th string, depending on whatever bass note we're going to be playing. So for this purpose, it's going to be hovering on top of the 6th string. And in doing so, you want to take the outer lining of your palm, this area, and you want to lightly dampen it, what would be in between the 6th and 5th strings, like this. You want to dampen it. Just softly place your hand, dampen over the strings, and your hand positioned like this. Your thumb is going to be free. While your palm is resting like this, your thumb is going to be free to pulsate the bass note. Okay, and with your index finger, you're going to be playing the sliding techniques predominantly with your index finger. Okay, and then when we implement the material, I'll elaborate more on how you play those things together. But that's the way that I would like your hand to be positioned for the most part. Damping, resting on the strings, and your thumb is free to pulsate the rhythm. Your index finger is going to be plucking upwards on the 1st string. So that is a little piece about right hand positioning. Okay, so let's get started. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the introduction to this song. Now, introduction is pretty simple. It exemplifies elements of the entire song. So there's a little bit of everything in the introduction that shows up again in the duration of the song. So Eric Clapton in that YouTube clip is doing some kind of instrumental arrangement with the slide in the beginning, which we're not going to cover because it's not really a part of the song. But what he does do is kind of kick off into this lick. Will be like this. This is what we're going to play. So the introduction will kick off like this. So what I like to do is just kick off. What you do here is with your slide, your right hand position like this, the first notes that we're going to do is just going to be like this. And that's going to just kick in the introduction before we do this little lick. Okay, and in order to do that, you're just going to take your slide, position yourself on the 3rd fret, 5th string, pick your slide on there, and with your thumb you pick 1 and then open on the 5th string, and then the 3rd fret top string with the slide, and then open the top 2 strings. So it'll be like this. And then after that you just play this, like a kind of a whole note to kick off that introduction. So it's 5 notes in all. It'll sound like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's 5 notes in all. And in order to do that, and that's all going on with with just the thumb. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then after that, he does this little thing. It's available for you in the tablature, and he goes like this to kick off the introduction. Okay. So after he does this, okay, you take your right hand and you position yourself, and you're just going to play the kind of the bottom strings with your index finger. Your hand is positioned like this, and what you're going to do is lead into the 11th fret on the second string. You're going to slide from the 11th and then slide into the 12th fret on the second string, so it'll be like this. And with that, I'm taking my index finger and I'm positioned on the second string and I'm plucking upwards. So you're 1, 11th fret, 12th fret. You're sliding. You're starting your transition from the 11th fret, sliding into the 12th fret just by plucking it once. 1, and then that second note is going to be on the bottom string on the 12th fret. 1, 2, and then you play an open string on the top. So it's like this. Okay. So the introduction like this. So when you play this, he goes into this boogie rhythm, which goes like this. It's pretty easy, and with this particular tuning, playing a boogie is very simplified. And basically, what it is you're playing like little half chords. So you would be playing the 6th and 5th string open like this, and then with your index finger you're fretting only the 5th string 2nd fret, and then you just play a boogie, and it'll be like this, 2 notes of each. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Very simple boogie, and it goes like. Very easy. And what you can do is, if you want to give that chord a little bit oomph, and Robert Johnson likes to do this, is that along with holding this 5th string on the 2nd fret, you play like an E7 shape, and it'll sound like this. And that's putting your index finger on the 3rd string and your middle finger on the 5th string, and then you just play 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, and that particular boogie is going to be throughout the whole duration of the song. The majority of the song is going to play out like that. Now, the trick is placing, coordinating, sliding techniques on the 12th fret and then jumping into that boogie. So it's like. Okay, and that's the whole trick of the song, which is a little bit difficult to grasp in the beginning, but that boogie is, I'm going to put it into place here. So going back to the introduction, when it goes like this. Okay, we left off on this lick here, and after you play that second note, you start the boogie, so it's like, so I'll go a little bit slower, it'll be like, it's about that transition from try to be in timing. That's like the first move of that introduction. It goes like this. And then what he does is he adds a little bit more oomph on that 12th fret, and the second time he plays 3 notes and it'll be like this. Okay, and then what he's doing here is that after this boogie, what you do is you will slide on the 2nd string, 12th fret, and you do like a double stop. You play the 2nd string on the 12th fret, then the next note is going to be the 3rd string on the 12th fret, and then you end on the 1st string 12th fret. So it's 1, 2, 3. So it's the notes is 2nd string, 3rd string, 1st string. So 1, 2, 3. And with that lick, with that first note of that series of 3 notes, you want to do a double stop with that first note. So that 2nd string, you want to play with the thumb and finger playing those 2 notes together, and you would pinch your fingers together to play them. So it'll be like this. One, 2, 3. Okay, so those are those 3 notes. So from the beginning, I know it's a lot to comprehend here, but that intro goes like this. And you go back to the boogie after that. So from that first part, it's 1, 2. And it's a little bit tricky to get off the bat, but kind of simple 3 notes. So from that beginning, it's and on this 3rd attempt, he stays longer on the lick. On this 3rd attempt, he really slides in there. And so on this 3rd part, he'll go like this. And that's what it sounds like. So after this portion, okay, alright, and so what he does there is when he leads up into this, he slides from he leads into this 12th fret action. Your hand is positioned like this, your index finger is ready to strike on the 2nd string. You're going to be working on the 12th fret again. So you lead into this. You start from like the 9th fret. And you hover around the 12th fret. So you play the top string and this 2nd string, you pinch it together like this. right? And what you're going to do is you're going to play these double stops, pinching your thumb and pinky together, playing the top string on the bass like this. Okay, my thumb is on the top string, index finger is on the second string, and you're fretting over the 12th fret. You got your slide hovering around the whole 12th fret, and the only string that you're playing is the second string. And it's all based on this lead-in. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11, 12, and the ends, of course, much in the same vein as that previous lick. And what he's doing there, those final two notes, it will be the third string on the 12th fret, and then you end on the 12th fret first string. So altogether it's and then when you play this 12th fret bottom string, you play the top string open, so it's boom, and then you lead into the turnaround, which we're going to explain here shortly. So it's important to have the discipline in your right hand to pinch together while your thumb is plucking the top string, your index finger is plucking upwards on the corresponding notes. So this action going on right here is imperative that you get it down, because this repeats itself in the duration of the song. And it's something that you have to get right with the technique in the right hand, because it will repeat itself again. So that whole introduction is just like bits and pieces of the 12th fret fully playing out. So from the beginning, the introduction will be like this. So after he plays this at the last, he does this turnaround, which is very simple, and it goes like this. So when he plays this 1, and when you let that top note ring out, what you'll do is